everybody, Toad Rider here. So, in this series, this is another video in my noob series that I'm working on, and I've mentioned at times various weapons that I haven't really shown in videos, and one of them is the triple take.
Triple take here.
So I decided what I'm gonna do today is probably just go through the different marksman weapons. All right.
Bocek here. Read it and become one with the hunt.
Bocek here. Okay. With all the marksman weapons, you're going to get kind of a sniper type of feel. These are really not guns that you want to use too much up close because of the rate of fire is not great, and with people jumping around and trying to evade, you're not going to have an easy time hitting them close up. But these marksmen have pretty good power. And like with this weapon here, the triple take, notice the sight. See, you're looking down, and you got those two little red arrows and a line in the middle. There it is. So it's just watch for the gun to settle down for a little bit. So you want to get at the top of the middle line. But okay, now the sight changed. You notice that? So now instead of the two little arrows, so this is one of the reasons I like the marksman weapons, is because they do have that sniper feel, and they have a good rate of fire. I control this gun pretty well, and I've done a lot of damage on people with this. 2 shots, opponent's down. So practice with this gun, pretty good. I like it. I recommend it for noobs. Okay, the Bocek, these red tier weapons, I don't know if you're aware, but probably are, but all these red tier weapons are only available through care packages. Now, the Bocek I like because it's accurate. Watch the little dot here. Follow the dot in the middle of those lines. Basically, where the dot is, that's where you're gonna shoot if you just pull R2 and don't even use your thumb. The thing that I think is a little bit underrated about this weapon too is if you get panicked, if this is the only weapon you happen to have, that's firing from the hip. That's the Bocek from the hip. I mean, it can do some damage. I don't know. I like this weapon. It's different. It's fun to play with. So if you see it, you know, grab it, practice with it. I've done some damage in matches with it. Okay. So the 30-30 up close and personal, it feels kind of like a shotgun. So I think this is kind of a multifaceted weapon. I do like the 30-30, but I don't recommend it for noobs, only because you want to use it from a distance, and it's got good power from a distance. distance. I think the problem with this weapon that I have for noobs is, you know, it's a single shooter for one. You're really only going to want to shoot with this gun from distance. Close up, it's going to act more like a shotgun. And when you have opponents that are kind of evading, trying to be elusive, jumping, and of course shooting you at the same time, it makes for this to be a tough gun to use in close battles. So, you know, you're running around, you're trying to hit people from a distance, you've got a scope on it, and now all of a sudden, after running around from a distance using your scope, now all of a sudden you need to, you know, prepare for close-up battle. So you should come in here and choose to remove it, and that way, now you can do some close-up battle and use this like a shotgun if you have to. So, if you're stuck with this gun, it's not a bad gun, but I would say practice with it so that you can kind of adapt. On the other hand, the G7 is really interesting to me. This is a gun that has decent power from range. I put the double tap trigger on it, so every trigger pull shoots twice. And there's 3 shots that just took him down. So with the level 3 scope on this, you can actually see pretty well. And so this is a gun that can really do some damage on some opponents. And then when you get up close, like from mid-range, so let's just lose this. G7-Scout. I like it for noobs, I like it for me. I don't think it's a gun that needs much practice, but the problem with it is if you don't have the double tap trigger, it's really not as effective of a gun. That was to the body 32, which is what most of your shots are going to be. 32 to the body means you're going to be having to hit your opponent, you know, 8 times. 8 times to knock them down. And if you miss 9, 10 shots with this gun, you know, you're better off having something like a flatline instead of a G7-Scout, or complement the G7-Scout with the flatline. I recommend the G7-Scout, but definitely look for the double tap trigger and some of the other attachments that go with it. Always look for extended mags. On top of the G7-Scout, I would say the triple take. Definitely like the triple take. I think it's a fun gun to
Triple take here.
Practice with, and I think you can do some damage in matches with it. Get a good gun like a an automatic rifle or something to complement your triple take. If you see the Bocek, which you may go a long time without seeing a Bocek, but if you do, give it a practice. You probably won't like it, and I shouldn't even really recommend it, but I just found that, you know, firing from the hip close up does some pretty good damage with the Bocek. So I'm gonna say I recommend that as well, but I also think you should come in here and practice with it. And the 30-30, not a big fan unless you want to use it from a distance, and I think if you can land 2 headshots, if you get good with headshots, get the skull piercer. But because noobs' #1 problem typically is accuracy, and I don't really recommend the 30-30. So, alright, with that, this is Toad Rider signing off.